up? It's the DeadEndRoad Show. It's Bill and Ian. Episode 41. It's been a week. Do you remember whenever I said that we should do less topical things to make the show more, evergreen and approachable for people that don't keep up with weekly kind of shit?
I do remember that because it kind of threw me for a loop because I realized at that point everything I contributed to the show as far as topics was always like something in the news that week.
Yeah, and then I went and introduced a segment that relies very heavily on what's going on week to week in the fucking crypto scam space.
Yes.
So that's on me. I don't know. Is this a dead wrong? I don't know, but I just thought I needed to address that because I realized it. But anyway, this is no fucking thanks. So this week, sort of the largest money laundering scam in history. The culprits were apprehended.
You know what's funny? Before we get into this, last week there was one story from the segment that we cut. It was the one that I threw in there, and it was a Verge report about how and this is a bit different because it's crypto, not NFT specifically, but NFT money laundering. There was a study that it's a quote small but growing problem.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And so here we are a week later with this doozy here.
Yeah. So a couple from New York City was arrested this Tuesday at the time of recording for laundering $4.5 billion worth of crypto. $4.5 billion. And these two. I can't. All right. So the two are they're a couple, husband and wife. Ilya Lichtenstein, who goes by Dutch Lichtenstein, which is the stupidest fucking name I've ever heard. It's like going by Paris, England or something. And his wife, Heather Rhiannon Morgan. So they washed 119,754 Bitcoin, which was stolen from an exchange called Bitfinex or Bitfinex. I don't know how you're supposed to say that shit. And it was eventually transferred into a wallet that Liechtenstein controlled. Now, he's a dual citizen of the U.S. and Russia. And the IRS and FBI released like this chart of how they spread out the funds throughout their wallets. And the funds were originally taken from the exchange in 2017, I believe.
And they were worth significantly less than they are now, right?
Yes, because there was a Bitcoin huge crash in 2017. 2016 is whenever it was taken off the exchange. But yeah, there was a huge crash around that time. And so Bitcoin was worth much less than it is now. So yeah, according to this Daily Beast, $4.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. And so the FBI is sort of posturing these two as these incredible masterminds that were able to orchestrate, moving all these funds to these different wallets and blah, 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 and how the FBI was able to outsmart them, and the Deputy Attorney General said that today's arrest in the department's largest financial seizure ever shows that cryptocurrency is not a safe haven for criminals. Like they're talking this like very big, game here. But these two characters are so bizarre that it's hard to believe that they could even pull off something like this, and it's hard to believe that they got away with it for so long. Mm-hmm. So I think the more interesting of the two is Morgan here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because she styles herself as a quote serial entrepreneur, whatever that's supposed to mean. And she describes herself as weird and eccentric, and says that both she and her husband enjoy taxidermy and weird art. And of course, she's a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And her stage name is Razzlecon.
Hell yeah.
And the name she lets everybody know is this is from her website, razzlecon.com, which is still up and active. Razzle Khan is like Genghis Khan, but with more pizzazz.
Yeah, I mean, that's accurate.
You know, it's like a genocidal warlord, but with more pizzazz.
Mm-hmm.
With more jazz hands to it.
Just add that little extra spice.
Quote, no one knows for sure where this rapper's from. Could be the North African desert, the jungles of Vietnam, or another universe. All that matters is she's here to stick up for misfits and underdogs everywhere. We do know that she's descended from a nomadic tribe, though. She's from Northern California. She is not part of any nomadic tribe or from Northern Africa or China or anything of the sort. She's from like
I like how she's talking about this persona as if she has no control over like the origins of it.
Yeah, she's from wine country in California. Because Raz has synesthesia, her art often resembles something in between an acid trip and a delightful nightmare. Definitely not for the faint of heart or easily offended. Raz likes to push the limits of what people are comfortable with. Her style has often been described as, quote, sexy horror comedy because of her fondness for combining dark and disturbing concepts with dirty jokes and gestures. Just like her fearless entrepreneurial spirit and hacker mindset, Raz shamelessly explores new frontiers of art, pushing the limits of what's possible. Whether that leads to something wonderful or terrible is unclear. The only thing that's certain is it won't be boring or mediocre. It just keeps going. As we know from her lyrics in Versace Bedouin, I don't know how to say that. Raz is not just a rapper. She is also a software CEO, a writer, an economist, and a few contradictory other things. Listen to find out. While Raz has many rappers that she is inspired by, including South African rap duo Die Antwoord, Tierra Whack, and rapper Mickey Avalon, she also finds great inspiration of the creative works of Salvador Dali, Diane Arbus, Hunter S. Thompson, Roald Dahl, and Charles Bukowski.
It's quite an array.
Yeah. Now, the music. Oh, no.
Yes,
Music. Oh, no. It's the YouTube's down.
What do you mean? The entire thing?
The one video. Oh, shit. Where is the...
Oh, yeah. A lot of them were being taken down.
Fuck. Where's the crypto one? Where'd it go? How is her website still up, but the YouTube is down? Oh, God damn it. Where is it? Because we cannot proceed.
No, I think we have to hear it. We have to hear at least one of them. She's not on Spotify, right?
Okay. Here's the crypto one.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it, and it is let's just play it.
Do you think we have to worry about copyright takedowns here?
I don't think so. And the reason why is because it is without spoiling, it's so tone deaf that I don't think like any content ID is gonna pick it up for like human sounds, you know, like
fair.
Yeah. So this is the crypto. I guess it's more of like a freestyle. She yeah. All right.
Motherfuckers, hodo. What I gotta do? Yodo. Our mission is noble. Yeah, I wanna be a mogul. My tendy's going global. Build an empire, Constantinople. You mean Istanbul? Get icy like Froyo. All gotta stay vocal. Bitcoin, Ethereum, hodl. AMC, GameStop, YOLO. The hedge is short squeeze with ease, but they say no pump and dumps, please. What?
Did she say Hodor at one point?
No, she says hodl a couple times, which is crypto,
Okay.
which is crypto slang off of a intentional mistyping of hold. It's they tell you to hold all of your like coins and shit because they're going to go to the moon or whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me just before we say anything further, am I allowed to like this unironically?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not.
All right.
Because it's
Darn.
it's fucking dreadful. The thing about this one is that it looks like she is a hostage somewhere. Like she's been kidnapped in Dubai or something, and like there are just a full row of machine guns off camera, just because she keeps looking off like to the side, like side-eyeing something while she's doing this, I guess, rap. It is so unsettling. It's, I don't know. So what is where's the there's so much here because she was prolific on the TikTok, I guess.
Somehow never made it to my side of TikTok. I don't know how.
Yeah. What is this one?
Yo, razzle dazzle, always been a trendsetter, cause I always do it better. Fly like a feather, hot like the weather. Razzle Queen, always be your best self, cause that is your real self. Yeah, I got that backwards. Your real self is always your best self. Razzle dazzle, stay awkward and weird.
What? Why is she like hawking up a loogie? Like, what is that?
Also, it sounds like she's standing in the middle of a busy New York City street.
Is.
There's just so much. Oh, she is. Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense then.
Hold on, I gotta do this quick freestyle inspirational rap.
You have to capture the magic while it's there.
And she says she got it backwards, but like, does it matter that she got that backwards? It's the same thing.
Wait, what's that?
That line she said, your best self is your real self. And then she says she got it backwards, then she had to correct it and say it the other way.
So your real self is your best self.
Yeah, what does it matter? It's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Oh my God. So she was also very proud of the fact that she was a contributor to sorry, I'm just like still reeling from
No, it's crazy because she has this other side to where she's like a somewhat legitimate writer. Somewhat. I mean, I'm using that kind of like I'm being forgiving here, but like compared to what we just listened to.
Yeah, so she
was published in some pretty,
So she was a contributor to Forbes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the thing about Forbes is that you sort of pay them to get published.
Oh, really? I didn't know it works like that.
Yes. They are not really a real outlet anymore. They're basically bullshit and anybody can kind of just write whatever.
So it's just like they're just like advertising then.
Yes. So she wrote articles such as how to start a conversation with even the busiest leaders. I don't know what that means. And how I flew to 13 countries in first class without buying tickets. So she was on the grift, She was,
mm-hmm.
She was on the, and she founded a company called Salesfolk, which is, quote, the first company to specialize in cold email copywriting. So that was sort of her main thing.
Now, what is the definition of that? Cold email copywriting.
A cold email is whenever you send something to somebody that they're not like anticipating.
Oh, so like cold calling.
Yeah. So that's it.
Oh.
She was doing email marketing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The two allegedly, quote, employed numerous sophisticated laundering techniques, including using fictitious identities to set up online accounts, utilizing computer programs to automate transactions, a laundering technique that allows for many transactions to take place in a short amount of time, depositing the stolen funds into accounts at a variety of virtual currency exchanges and darknet markets, and then withdrawing the funds, which obfuscates the trail of the transaction history by breaking up the fund flow, according to prosecutors. Now, she claims that these were legitimate. So in the criminal complaint, she claims that my boyfriend, and then in parentheses, now husband, gifted me cryptocurrency over several years, 2014, 2015, which have appreciated. I have been keeping them in cold storage. But the thing is that these were the funds that were missing from this exchange from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Prosecutors said the pair spent the proceeds on gold, NFTs, and, quote, mundane things like purchasing a Walmart gift card for $500. Like, isn't that sad that you fucking had like $6 billion? How much was it? $4.5 billion, and you bought NFTs.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's sad if you buy NFTs.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
For sure.
Yeah, it's like,
for sure,
you could buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're a multi-billionaire, and you're buying JPEGs.
You could buy, for instance, songwriting lessons.
Yes. Yeah, where's the music video? I want to see the music video.
does it kind of fall into the category, the music that is, of something that is such a disaster that it's kind of like appealing? Or is this, no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just really bad and cringy. Okay, here's something. Yeah.
Bad bitch.
Ooh, the production level here is
You annoying like vag itch. So lame. It's fucking tragic. Bad bitch, motherfucking bad bitch, bad bitch, motherfucking bad bitch, motherfucking bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch.
So no. I think it's just really bad, and I think she truly is convinced that she's some kind of like edgy auteur, which there is a sadness to it. There's a deep sadness to it.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, you're annoying like vag itch.
You have to admit though, the production level of this song is much better than the previous
that's
two.
the one because that wasn't like a freestyle TikTok. This was clipped out of one of the music videos she did.
It's like there's an actual like she's on like rhythm, right? Somewhat for the most part.
Well, yeah, it helps if you're just saying bad bitch over and over again. You can kind of find it naturally, you know?
So this isn't an earworm for you.
No. Kind of the opposite, actually. It like deeply repels me. Yeah. Like it really triggers my fight or flight.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Weirdest is most original. This song is for the entrepreneurs and hackers, all the misfits and smart slackers. Russell Khan, the Versace better win. Come real far, but don't know where I'm heading. Motherfucking crocodile of Wall Street. Silver on my fingers and boots on my feet. Always be a goat, not a goddamn sheep. Email me, fuck your message at the beep. Beep, 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 beep. Spirit of a revolutionary, power of a dictator. Love to be contrary, but I'm fly like a gator. I've got pilot blood, I'm a real risk taker. Pirate riding the flood, badass money maker. Grandmother crocodile, weirder than an X-File. Brief fire, ship silver, so sexy when I slither. Sparkle on my little finger, hell of arousal ear to ear. Poised to throw a zinger, playing on their worst fear. Russell Khan, the Versace better win. Come real far, but don't know where I'm heading. Motherfucking crocodile of Wall Street. Silver on my fingers and boots on my feet. Always be a goat, not a goddamn sheep. Email me, fuck your message at the beep.
There's a lot of mixing of like animal metaphors in this one.
Yeah, because she says she's a crocodile, but then there's like a tiger.
And there's a gator.
Yeah.
Fly like a gator. I don't quite get that.
And is boots on my feet really a flex, like a rapping flex? The fact that you have shoes, like usually they like they name drop like one of the brands or whatever, and she doesn't even go there. She just says that she has boots.
She should name drop some of the expensive NFTs that she's purchased.
Right. Yeah. And also, like,
I mean,
email me, yo. Like, what? Like, I don't. It's so strange.
Now, is she going to jail?
Probably.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, we don't have a proper intro song to this podcast. Like, we do, but like, it could be improved upon.
That's true. Yeah.
So if she wasn't going to jail, I would maybe try and reach out.
The crocodile of Wall Street. What?
Like even now, like I'm still a little bit hung up on the fact that I don't entirely hate it.
I think you need to. Did you take a hit to your head recently?
Not that I can remember.
Okay.
Guilty, I'm motherfucking filthy. Rent boys on payroll cause I'm so damn wealthy. Big seven dick to stay healthy. Fuck we heard about Rip Van Winkle, sprinkle showers wherever I tinkle. I'm a bad bitch, like Badgie Winkle, riding a dick like a moose Bullwinkle. That's what's up. I'm dropping my song Gilfalicious on 99.
Riding the dick like Bullwinkle.
So what was the gag?
That's she does this thing where instead of going like blah or something like that, she just kind of like hawks a loogie.
That's like her trademark.
I don't get it. Riding the dick like Bullwinkle. And she's name dropping Rip Van Winkle? What is happening?
I mean, so again, I'm gonna ride this out. I'm gonna stick to the fact that I don't entirely hate it, but I also do need to at the same time acknowledge that there might be some cultural appropriation going on here that's less than ideal.
How the fuck... Okay, this is a tweet. How the fuck do you rhyme the Versace Bedouin with come real far but don't know where I'm headed when the rhyme is clearly come real far but don't know where I've been? Bin almost rhymes with Bedouin. Headed doesn't rhyme at all. There's a lot wrong here, but come on.
I mean, you know, you can be nitpicky, but...
Yeah. Oh, I do apologize. Apparently on LinkedIn, their pronouns are they, them. I think a lot of people have been getting that wrong, actually.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think I've read some articles that have misused the pronouns.
Yeah. So a lot of people, especially in the crypto sphere, think these two are patsies, that they have been set up, that they are the fall guys, that there is no possible way that they could have orchestrated this.
Mm-hmm.
I say, why not? Like,
yeah, I mean, the end result here is them getting caught, so it's not like they're super geniuses.
Right. I think the crypto people are like trying to protect their very, very serious interests. And they're like, there's no way people this ridiculous could have, compromised our very super serious systems that are so totally flawless. But it's like,
see, maybe that's part of the appeal with her music for me, is the fact that it's sort of making a mockery of a variety of things. But one of them is the crypto culture, which, really deserved that. So
yes, but not intentionally.
You don't think so?
No.
This isn't like parody. This isn't like...
No.
I'm like running off of the assumption that it is parody.
Your assumption's wrong.
Like the whole persona thing, like it's all a bit.
No, it's not. It's deadly serious.
Oh, well, that changes things a bit.
Puff, puff, pass. Fuck the park. It's full of fuckboy sex slaves. I'm about to light it up when a big-ass horse pulls up in a dark chocolate 67 Porsche. How much for a hand job? Yo, I'm not some kind of slutty basic hoe. About to jack off a horse for a ride in yo Posh. Okay.
It's poetry.
Ooh.
Also, I really like your very straight reading of that. Like you're just like completely like deadpan reading. It's very good.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there was a Verge story that sort of like compiled all the various things that she's done, like the music videos and the articles, and did like a whole write-up on her history. And at one point, the writer of this Verge story asked a question, which is, can we stan? I think you fall under the no category on that one.
I think the best thing that they did was steal $5 billion in crypto.
Oh, totally.
I think you can for that aspect.
Yeah.
Also, one of the ways that they got caught was they kept the keys for some of the wallets on their Google Drive account.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really easy to find and tie like all the accounts together.
It's like the digital equivalent of leaving your keys under the mat.
Kind of. Yeah. I was not lying when I said I was too busy to take on this project, but listening to these raps she made, they were so bad, I was kind of like, I don't know if I can deal with this. Because sometimes for a certain price, you can make your schedule work, and I really couldn't come up with a number. That is from a photographer that was contacted to document their engagement, who could not be swayed to do the gig. The pair wanted photos of, quote, Dutch and all his wives, which would be Photoshop shots of Liechtenstein and Morgan as Razzle Khan with multiple personas.
One thing I was curious about, do we know if they had any sort of like following as an artist prior to the story blowing up this week?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
She had I think a few hundred Instagram followers on the rapping account.
Okay.
It was really just a hobby. It was not as much as she might protest.
So ultimately,
protest, I'm sorry.
Assuming that there isn't a ton of jail time, right? And that they...
I mean, it's the biggest laundering scheme in history. just based off of the amount that they stole.
Okay, so that could be serious.
Because, like, they have to go off of the U.S. value, right? Like, there's,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, like, they get out of jail eventually, and then now there's all sorts of potential for a rap career. You're in the public spotlight now.
Mm-hmm. Liechtenstein posted his $5 million bond. Morgan posted their $3 million. And so they are on house arrest with electronic monitoring and restricted use of smartphones. So I don't think we're going to be getting any more TikToks anytime soon. Oh, if convicted, they face a maximum of 25 years.
That usually gets cut down.
Mm-hmm. And of course, they have been restricted from some financial restrictions, including restrictions on any crypto transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
how'd they get the $3 million for the for bail?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the difference in bail is. I guess they figure he was more involved in I think a lot of the stuff was in his name is the thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I gather. But yeah, that's the crypto couple that pulled off the biggest scam in history.
How long until Hollywood jumps on this one?
Oh, Netflix will have something in 6 months.
Yeah, I believe it. Like, it's surreal how quickly these things move now with, like, adaptations and stuff, because, like, I was reading coverage of, like, the Elizabeth Holmes trial while it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, on the same website, you'll see first screenshot of Amanda Seyfried as Elizabeth Holmes in the new film. So it's like it's pretty wild.
Well, I mean, there was that HBO documentary like a few years ago,
right? And that was based on a podcast too. So there, like, she was in the public eye for quite a while before this, but. Yeah, I definitely expect we'll see a biopic of some sort of crime.
This has Tiger King all over it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So we have Dating is Dead. And well, no, not really. If I hurry, this could be out for Valentine's Day, but I'm not really necessarily calling it a Valentine's Day edition. But last week was a little rough. Some editing needed to take place.
Well, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be making a problem where there is none here. But so when we take like profiles off of like one of the dating apps, I feel like that's where we kind of run into trouble.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there's just something different about that versus like something that was maybe posted on social media or like a news story or something. Because it's like you're taking that dating profile out of the environment where it was intended to be, if that makes sense. Like, I know it's a public thing. Like, you put your profile out there and it's public, but it's also just meant to be seen by people on the dating apps, right? So when you pull it into a different context, I don't know if that's maybe taking it a step too far.
It's not like I'm... Yeah, I do see your point, but it is not like I'm taking the information and like keeping somebody from holding a job or something, like I'm not like...
Right. No, we're not using names. We're really trying not to even use gender or any sort of identifying detail.
Even though I am changing the environment, I'm not changing the context.
Okay.
Like I'm not taking the information and telling you that it is something different than a dating profile. Right?
True. Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Wanted to throw it out there.
Yes. As you know, this is the segment that I'm most sensitive to. Mm-hmm. So, yes. But at the same time, when I go on Tinder, mm-hmm. and Tinder I don't understand it. And this time when I went in, I couldn't really understand what people were saying, like on their profiles. And
okay, so we're just going to be trying to like play detective and figure some stuff out here.
I think so. And the other thing I want to bring up is dudes. Okay.
Sure.
There is something, and I, maybe this is just my perspective as a straight guy who is unintentionally infiltrating people of different orientations or whatever, putting themselves out there. I don't know. A lot of dudes just appear very threatening.
Okay.
On these profiles. Like,
in what way?
The way that they frame their photos is just like a lot of the times it just like has this menacing aura to me. Like I don't necessarily feel threatened, right? Like I'm very comfortable with my own shit. Like where I am on the spectrum of whatever you want to call it, right? I'm good.
Sure.
I'm good. But they're like sort of in your face in some of these photos. And it's like, dude, chill. Like, calm down.
I'm still not quite grasping this. So are you talking about just like the framing of the shot?
The framing of the photos, like they're like either like really up close or they're like, okay, like this is my whole body, man. And then it's like, all right, like chill out. Cause then you see pictures of girls, right? And they're just kind of hanging out, you know?
Sure.
Like there's such a distinct contrast to me. But again, maybe this is just my perspective. So this is what that's just what I experienced on this little trip in this time around. I don't know. Anybody could do with that what they will. I don't know.
So you're saying that these men are objectifying themselves and you have a problem with that?
I don't think they're objectifying themselves. I think like you could have a photo of yourself that doesn't have to be like, I don't know, not in your face, but in their face. Like it's like the way they're framed is like, yep. This is, you gotta be like right here in my zone. Like, it's like, chill, take it easy.
And see all those pores.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know. I think a lot of dudes also don't know how to smile. That's another problem. So a lot of smiles look more menacing than they should be.
Yeah, I believe that.
So like there's a lot of factors at play that add up. So anyway, this first one, be interesting, have hobbies, be willing to push your comfort zone, acknowledge your trauma, be passionate, know your flaws, be comfortable with your own company, find the sweet spot of exactly how seriously to take life. Me, loyal, honest, funny, sometimes guarded, family-oriented, empathetic, compassionate, big into nature, traveling, and not TV camping, RV camping. I won't be messaging you first. I didn't know what to do with the first paragraph.
Yeah, I was confused there because isn't a dating profile supposed to be about you? Like, and they get there eventually, but I mean that's it's very demanding.
So so like, are those demands? Or are these
they sound like it?
Or are these like weird self-affirmation thingies?
Oh, could be.
I didn't understand what I was meant to do with this.
I mean, my initial reaction was, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, acknowledge your trauma. It's like, chill. I don't even know your last name. Like, and you want me to like unload my trauma? Like, what the hell is this? But then it's like,
do I need to write you a cover letter? Before,
yeah, but then it's like, okay, is this person like saying this to themselves? Like,
that would make more sense.
Okay, but then also that's a lot for a Tinder profile.
It is.
So then if you're reading it that way, be comfortable with your own company and find the sweet spot of how to seriously take life, and push your comfort zone. All right, but then they end with, I won't be messaging you first. So it seems,
so that makes me think it is more of a demand.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, it seems like your comfort zone is not messaging first, right?
Right.
Like you're not cool with messaging first. Like that's not something that you do. But then you're either demanding or asking yourself to push your comfort zone.
Well, no, you don't know that. You're making an assumption because maybe they're the type of person that always messages first and they like impulsively do it and they can't stop themselves from doing that. So now this is them getting out of their comfort zone by not messaging first.
Okay.
Do you ever think about that?
Maybe, but then I don't know what to do with any of this.
No.
You know?
It's confusing.
It is.
I mean, I feel like these profiles should be very clear in what the intentions are, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is this a horoscope or is this a dating profile?
Right.
You know, like it really should be pretty clear cut about what you want, what you're looking for, who you are.
Yeah.
It's not the place to be
Confucius.
Yeah.
And talk about trauma and
that's a bizarre one.
The joie de vivre, you know? Like what are we doing? Yeah. This next one, okay. Something serious wouldn't be so bad. This match talk and go nowhere's getting old. Memes are just playfully disarming, LOL. Vibe, dinner, drinks. leaf emoji, and then I don't know what that other emoji is. No hookups in all caps. I'm not a whore, ladies. SMH. Funniest guy you'll ever meet. And then they put their Instagram and Snapchat. I didn't understand what memes are just playfully disarming means.
No.
What does that mean? Is that a good thing?
Yeah, we're not doing a very good job of playing detective here.
I know. Is that a good thing? Do you want memes to be disarming?
I don't know. It's like maybe this person's asking for you to, instead of opening with like a "Hey, what's up?" or introducing yourself, they just want to be sent memes.
I know. Like I've seen a lot of profiles like that where they're like send memes, right? But that's very straightforward, and like you kind of get it.
Yeah. So once again, this comes down to being too unclear with what you want.
Yeah. Playfully disarming. Like it's like, okay, are you averse to memes? Like do you want to be disarmed or not? Like that's
yeah, that could go either way. Yeah. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
So you send a meme to this person, you are taking a risk.
Right. Are they meme phobic?
Or if you don't send a meme, you're also taking a risk.
Yeah. I don't know what
good luck with that.
Yeah, because they're like, this match talk and go nowhere is getting old. It's like, okay, all right. So you want some match meme and go somewhere. I don't know.
Also, are they equating people that are looking for hookups with being whores? Because that's problematic.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not great.
No.
I think it's attempting to appeal to this person says ladies, so I think that they're attempting to appeal to women that are also not looking for hookups, but I think it goes too far.
It's a
like
there's a different way to word
slut shaming.
Yes.
So yeah. This next one, okay. I'm polyamorous and I live with my girlfriend of 6 years. You matched me, not her, so don't go there. Let's play video games, go on cute dates to a hockey game, and then eventually wear adorable ears at Disney. I play PS4/Switch/Xbox One. I'm a hockey journalist who designs and runs their own site. I'm also a freelance graphic designer and digital artist. I love and have worked with dogs professionally for 4+ years. I have tattoos, piercings, and am super 420 friendly, fully vaxxed. I didn't know what the first thing meant.
Can you repeat it?
I'm polyamorous and I live with my girlfriend of 6 years. You matched me, not her, so don't go there.
See, is it bad that my first reaction there is challenge accepted?
God.
Like, hold my beer?
Right, yeah, I think a lot of people probably would.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it means. So it's like basically saying like no threesomes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see that wasn't completely clear to me.
No, I got it. I just didn't. I don't know why you would lead with that, because you're drawing attention to the very thing that you're trying to avoid.
Yes.
Not the fact that this person's poly, but the fact that they don't want anybody interacting with their girlfriends. Like, well, we wouldn't even know you had a girlfriend if you didn't make it your very first line in the bio.
But then I guess like it would be weird if you match with somebody and then it's like, oh, by the way, I have a girlfriend.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So is it not just enough to say that you're poly and there's an expectation there that you could have one?
Because you could be poly and single, right? And like looking around for multiple people. Sure. So
okay.
I think I think it is good to have that. I just don't like. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is asking for trouble. Whenever you. I
mean, even aside from asking for trouble, it just comes off as kind of aggressive, just like weirdly like hostile for no reason.
Yeah. But then it's probably a response to interactions that they've had previously, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So.
But still, how are we supposed to like? It's like we had nothing to do with that. So.
Right. Yeah. It's like, okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't, going to
confront your trauma.
Yeah. I wasn't really gonna ask about your girlfriend, but all right, man. Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, that was another one where I didn't quite know what to do with that. All right, this next one, 6 and then the pound sign, which I guess they meant to do the 6 feet, but they used like the star pound sign thingy instead. So
okay.
There's that. So 6, newly single, looking for dates, chat, fun. The latter, I don't know what that means either. Goals or relationship, preferably open. Swimming, hiking, traveling, skiing, cosplay, theater, photography, drawing, cleaning, organizing, cooking, baking, horror, and mystery are just the tip of the iceberg about me. And then they have a little emoticon. Have a housekeeping service for the gays and the theys on the side. Let me know if interested. Always looking for a cuddle buddy. Yeah. What's with the housekeeping service thing?
Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
What is that?
Wait, can you repeat that section there? That little...
Have a housekeeping service for the gays and the theys on the side. Let me know if interested. Are you looking to hire people, or is this a service that you only provide for LGBT people?
Huh.
I have no idea.
I'm interested to know, honestly.
Right. I'm like, okay.
I mean, they mentioned that they enjoy cleaning. Like, cleaning is one of their hobbies, so...
Right.
It would make sense if they're providing the service.
Right. But at the same, it's like, yeah, are you hiring, or are you offering to clean somebody's place?
So, I mean, it's a running theme here that you just got to be more clear.
Yeah, like, I don't know what to do with this. And also, I don't know what the ladder means whenever they say what they're looking for. Is there like a leaderboard on Tinder that I'm not aware of? Yeah, I don't.
Wait, is that like ladder as in like LADD or
yeah,
latter?
LADDER, ladder.
Oh, huh.
Unless they were trying to say latter and they spelled it wrong. But
Could be.
I also don't know what that's referring to either.
Well, right before it, there were two things that were mentioned.
Newly single, looking for dates, chat, fun, the ladder.
Huh. Well, the latter would be fun.
Right. So you.
But why would
just
you only be looking for
fun?
that if you? Yeah.
Just
why would you mention
just
the
put
other
fun
things?
then. Just say looking for fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I don't know how to read a lot of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one, like you don't really need to see the photo, but this was one of the photos where I felt a menacing vibe. Okay.
Can you screen share it?
I can. Actually, I could also just send. No, I'll just screen share it. It's probably faster. Okay. So, I'm the nice guy in the group. I swear I smile. Let's go on a date. Building the metaverse. Relationship guy. ...
Okay.
I don't know. It's like I feel uncomfortable.
I mean, when I look at this photo, it looks like somebody that's has somewhere to be.
Yeah, there's that.
Because they're holding like one of those
they're holding like
backpacks, but with a...
They're holding like a messenger bag.
Yeah.
Looks like they're either going to the gym or coming from the gym.
Mm-hmm.
They're also like flexing, even though they're not really in like a flexing position.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. This seems like a pretty like benign, like standard photo here. I don't know. I don't get where the intimidation factor is coming from.
I'm the nice guy in the group. And then he's a metaverse dude.
Well, the one thing is like mentions like I smile, I swear I smile, and this is basically a mugshot.
Right.
Yeah.
And then whatever relationship guy means.
Is that like wife guy before he becomes wife guy?
Yeah, like what does that mean? Or
it's pre-wife guy.
Yeah, or like do people come to you with relationship advice?
Oh,
or,
could be that.
Like I don't know what that means.
Also, isn't let's go on a date a little bit like redundant? I mean, it's the whole point of this, isn't it?
I would say so, but then I don't know, because if people are just looking to fuck, then...
Oh, sure. Well, yes. Yeah. Just don't tell that to the previous
right
person we talked about.
Right. No hookups. Yeah. So, again, just information that I don't know what to do with or what it means. And sort of some kind of menacing aura, at least for me.
Also, the check mark there, is that like, does that mean verified?
Yes, but that's Tinder will like verify your identity, so it's not like it's not like Twitter where you're like notable in sort of some capacity, whether you're like published or whatever, or like a celebrity.
Do you know what like the requirements are, like what they need to identify you?
I think it's a certain number of photos and maybe a driver's license to match.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Actually, I haven't done it because I literally don't have enough photos.
In case you can't tell, I haven't used this app.
Yeah, I think it's relatively new, like maybe in the last couple of years. So yeah. All right, we got one more. All right, this one I really have no fucking clue. Connoisseur of chickpeas and chickpea, currently sporting a mullet. Another local neurotic queer, 420 friendly, sober-ish, 5'10", and another 20 centimeters since it matters. Bing bong.
Oh, they won me over with the bing bong.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Oh, that's a TikTok thing.
Oh,
that's I sent you that. I think it's called Side Talk NYC.
If you did, I genuinely don't remember.
Okay. No, it's a TikTok thing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this one.
So what's that about chickpeas? Because that's the headline here. That's what they're leading with.
That's weird. That's really weird. Connoisseur of chickpeas and chickpea.
Is that like a euphemism? Like, what does that mean? Something else that I don't know?
I think I think they literally mean girl piss.
Okay, so it meant something I wasn't aware of.
So chickpeas, like the bean, like, you know, like chickpeas.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then he says, or they, I actually generally don't know the gender. Chickpea.
Oh, okay. So you can catch me in the produce section, or you can piss on me. Those are like the two options here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that makes more sense.
And then I think the 20 centimeters is supposed to be dick size.
Either that or like actual. Or wait, how much is 20 centimeters? Is that like less than a foot?
22 inches. 7.8 inches.
There seems to be a perceived thing with men where it's like they really need to be specific about their actual height for some reason. I've seen like this on certain like TikTok stories and stuff.
So now we're mixing metric and imperial.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's
no, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense because they're 5'10" and another 7 inches.
Yeah,
but then they'd be Then they'd be 6'5".
Never mind. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's got to be the dick.
It has to be. You're right.
But yeah, I just think that it is, I guess, kind of funny because if you say 20 centimeters, that does seem bigger than 7.8 inches, just because the numerically it's bigger. So he had to go. He had to go to the metric system.
That's smart. That's a smart play.
So yeah, like I don't know, man. Like what? Okay, man, cool. You like piss? Like, it's like that's what you're gonna lead with. All right, sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, they clearly thought the whole chickpeas thing was clever. You know, a little wordplay there.
Yeah, I guess. But then, like, what if you match with? What if you like somebody sees it like, oh shit, like I like really like chickpeas.
Yeah, it's like I'm a farmer from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's like I really like those on my salad or whatever, you know. And then it's like, and then they get it, and they're like, oh, that's really gross. Bye, you know. I don't know.
It could be sending some mixed messages.
Yeah.
Or there's room there for a misunderstanding to happen, and it could lead down a road that you don't want to end up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that was Dating is Dead this week. Just a lot of unspecific, like the very specific things, but like the clarity is just really missing. So yeah, we do have a new segment. It'll probably be a one-time segment. I don't necessarily know how to approach it. Because I have something that I can't talk about without potentially getting into legal trouble.
I genuinely don't know how that's possible.
So I want to see if maybe you can figure it out.
Okay.
Or if I can.
But I can't say it though.
You can say it.
Okay. So I can say it, but you can't.
I can't talk about it. Or if I can maybe find a way to talk about it without talking about it.
Okay, interesting.
So, this is NDA Bingo. Fantastic.
See, that's a good one, but I do feel like if we had a little bit of razzle dazzle,
sure,
it would be really nice.
Yeah. So something happened this week that I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement for, and so I can't talk about it. And so I want to see if maybe you can figure out what that is.
Okay. I wouldn't place any bets on me, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. I don't know if we need, maybe not like a hard timer, but like, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because if this takes 4 hours, then, you know, it's not really very entertaining. But
can we play 20 questions?
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking, you know, like.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Do I need to ask a question? Is that how this begins?
I guess so.
Because I have no idea how to even start with this.
Yeah. Like maybe ask me something.
Okay. Can I ask you where this NDA signing took place?
I signed it at my house.
At your house. So it was like sent via mail?
No, it was a digital sign.
Oh, digital. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with like your website or this show or like anything related to the whole Dead End Road thing?
No.
Okay. Does it involve any of your family members?
No.
Is there any sort of like hints or like any sort of direction you could send me in here? Because I truly am at a loss.
Okay. It resulted in me getting a $40 Amazon gift card.
Okay. Okay. Let me think here. Was there like a class action lawsuit?
No, but I actually have been contacted about one of those. Well, that's a separate
issue. This podcast is just gonna be me saying for the next 20 minutes. I'm glad that you have that thing where it cuts out all the silence because
yeah.
Boy,
I don't. This is the thing. I don't know what hints I could give you.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because you're really you're towing a line here legally, and we don't want to get you into any trouble.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with publishing.
No.
Does it have to do with something that you've like purchased?
Yeah, in a way.
Huh.
The fun thing about this is if you don't get it, I still can't say it on the show.
Right, yeah, I'd have to wait until we stop recording. I don't mean any offense by this, but like you don't do anything.
I know. I know.
You don't go anywhere. So it's like I have no idea like what kind of situation you would have gotten yourself in.
Yeah.
Where you've had to sign one of these things.
Uh-huh.
And how it results in a $40 Amazon gift card. I don't get it. Does that have to do with COVID?
No. I'll tell you this, like the circumstances of it, like it was virtual just because of COVID, I guess.
Oh.
Just because it had to be.
Okay. Does it have to do with like doctors of any sort?
No.
What about yeah, this is not making for a good podcast segment because I have no clue. I just do not know.
Let's see. Okay, it's a good thing that I bought that laptop because it has a webcam.
Oh, okay. As most laptops do.
Mm-hmm.
Were you hacked?
No.
Like was somebody spying on you?
No.
Did your laptop catch fire?
No, it doesn't it doesn't have anything to do with the laptop.
Oh, okay.
But it's good that I had it.
Oh, like you're saying you could do something virtually.
Yes.
With the webcam.
Yes.
Are you on OnlyFans?
No. Not yet.
Not yet. Huh. So this has nothing to do with the time that you freaked out at the doctor's office, huh? Because that's where my mind was going.
No medical, nothing medical.
Does it involve Jeffrey Bezos in any way aside from the gift card?
No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with people I've threatened on the show. At least I don't think it does.
Okay.
Because I think I've threatened Jeffrey Bezos.
Should I know this? Like, have we talked about something and this is the end result of it and I'm just forgetting completely?
No, you don't know that this happened.
Oh, okay. In case you couldn't tell. No, I'm at a loss here. Okay. I don't want to just keep guessing random things. Yeah, so this is probably going to be a pretty unsatisfying end to this segment, right? Unless you have something that you can. I don't know. How long does the NDA go for?
I think it's in perpetuity. So I don't think there's an embargo where like I can suddenly say what it was. Like I just can't. Can't talk about it.
Have you signed on to do another podcast?
No.
And you just can't talk about it?
No.
Oh, okay. No. I give up.
It has something. It's hobby related. It involves
Final Fantasy.
You're close. It involves just a deep amount of knowledge.
Is this your like something to do with Persona?
Okay, so I honestly didn't think we would get to this point. So then now I don't know if I could say yes.
Oh, all right. Well, we can just leave it there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because I know you were. You've had this gigantic, epic research story that you have been just kind of letting simmer in the background about Persona.
Uh-huh.
Does that have anything to do with this? Potentially.
Not directly, but let's just say that it came in handy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to know, but if we can't take it any further, then I'll start to wait.
Might have to might have to leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, did you consider the fact that for anybody listening, this would be very unsatisfying?
No, I didn't. I really didn't think too hard about this. I was just like, this might be fun.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah. That was NDA Bingo, maybe.
Yeah. Bing bong.
Great. If that gets claimed, I'm gonna be upset.
Which one is that? Is that Judge Judy?
Yeah, yes, People's Court. All right. So we have another new segment actually. So you know how on the show I frequently bring up an assorted number of things from the 90s and 2000s. We had the French Stewart discourse. We had the Home Improvement was a big one. I think
right. Yeah, you like to pretend that you're a 90s kid.
I am a Don't even. Last week there was Hootie and the Blowfish. There was that whole thing. Mm-hmm. So I figured why not just formalize this into its own segment. So yeah, this is it's been great. Now
nice.
So this is gonna be the show where we either reminisce or think critically of something that happened, you know, in childhood times, or just you know, 90s, 2000s, or you know, something that we recall from the old upbringing. Because this week there's the new Jackass, you know, movie came out, and so I was like, oh yeah, Jackass, and then I went and I grabbed the old movies and I rewatched the first Jackass movie, and then it was really just like whiplash of like, Jesus, like all this like skate culture shit, and then like the credits play over 96 Bitter Beings from CKY, and it's like,
oh man,
yeah, okay, all right. And so I was just like, what an interesting time where like skate culture was so prevalent and like dominated a lot of like it seeped into a lot of everything, like from fashion to like, you know.
Yeah, it feels like now you have to seek it out, whereas back then it was like in your face.
Yeah. Like there was like a melding of, you know, skate stuff and music and like even on like, you know, kids shows and shit. Like, you know, there was like Rocket Power, you know, and like cartoons, like like skating and things like that were like such a big.
The Tony Hawk franchise.
Tony Hawk was enormous.
Yeah.
It was just like a big part of the culture. And Jackass was like the extreme version of that. It was like, you know.
You just reminded me that I need to buy Ollie Ollie World, which came out this week.
I saw that. Yeah, I didn't know that was happening. I enjoyed the first couple games.
Yeah, me too. Those were so good. Anyway, sorry.
And yeah, but no, that's relevant because like I had this Game Boy game that was like, it was just called Skate or Die, you know, and that was literally it. Like you would get chased by bees or whatever if you didn't skate. Like you would actually die. Like you'd get killed if you didn't keep skating. It was like really strange.
I used to play a lot of the handheld. I mean, I played all the Tony Hawk games, but I liked the handheld Tony Hawk games because they were like 2D adaptations of the 3D games that were on like the main consoles. And I don't know if they were actually any good, but I remember liking them a lot.
Yeah, just like the prevalence of like extreme sports. SSX, you know, that was like huge.
I used to like watch the X Games religiously when I was like an early teen.
That shit was on ESPN.
Well, it still is, but
it was featured more heavily.
Oh, for sure.
Like yeah, like it was a big deal whenever like skateboarding was suddenly in the Summer Olympics, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was such an interesting time. And I was just like thinking about Jackass, and like even though as a kid I didn't really watch it all that much, but like I was just like remembering all this shit. Like I remembered segments from the movie that I was like, oh shit. Like whenever they electrocute their fucking taint. It's like I remember that. And like I even remember I remember like Johnny Knoxville explaining what the gooch is, like word for word. And I was like, how do I remember that?
Yeah. Can I read you one of the top Letterboxd reviews of the new Jackass movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is people seem to really like this new one. It has an average rating of 4.0
okay, yeah.
out of 5 on Letterboxd, which is really good. But yeah, so this one is from Matt Singer. He's a film critic. After 120 years of cinema, it's almost impossible to present something truly new to the movie-going public. It's all been done, or so it can seem until a movie like Jackass Forever comes along. When Johnny Knoxville proudly announces, "We have 15 gallons of pig semen," you know you are about to see something that has never been captured by a motion picture camera before. You can read the full review at Screen Crush if you are interested.
Yeah, like... There was such a difference because there was such a freedom for the movies too. Because like the show on MTV was whatever, you know, it was just kind of like dudes hitting their nuts, right? But the movies was such a totally different thing because they had that freedom to kind of do whatever, and so they really took that super far. Looking back, like even the first movie is just kind of just like a big episode, right? But yeah, like the cool thing about Jackass was that like it was never mean. And anytime it verged on being mean, it's like they were always the joke. Like even the prank segments and shit where they would like surprise people and things like that. Like the people getting pranked were like never the joke. It was always, look how fucking crazy we are. Like that was, you know, like that was always the thing. And I think that sort of gets lost in like maybe like remembering what that era was like. Because the Jackass was like this super like hyper masculine sort of thing. Like they're always shirtless, like they're always in like a Speedo, you know, like it was just like this very like homoerotic, you know, like they're always sticking stuff up asses, like
yep,
you know, but it was like seen as like the cool shit, you know, like you'd stay up late see it on MTV.
Yeah, I'll admit, I was never that big of a Jackass watcher. I gravitated more towards the Bam Margera shows, which I guess is like related, right?
Yeah.
That show felt a bit meaner.
I always heard it was. I never got into it, but yeah, because like he was always like doing shit to his parents.
His parents and especially his uncle really took the brunt of a lot of that stuff. But yeah, that show definitely felt meaner than Jackass.
Yeah. It was just such an interesting time where like just a bunch of dudes like shooting fireworks out of their ass was like one of the most popular like things. you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was
I used to get a lot of skateboarding magazines.
Yeah.
In like elementary school and stuff.
Animal Chin.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I don't even remember like the context with that. I think it had something to do with that, like that group of skateboarders that featured like Tony Hawk and like maybe some of the other big names.
I think it was a skate video with some kind of loose plot.
Oh, okay.
Weren't they looking for Animal Chin or something?
Oh yeah, it was like a quest, like a search for this guy with the terrific mustache.
The Search for Animal Chin, 1987.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, so this must have been a like a retrospective on this article, because this was from like the early 2000s or the mid 2000s.
Yeah, the Bones Brigade.
That's it. That's the name.
Tony Hawk, Steve Caballero, Mike McGill. Lance Mountain, that's a fucking name.
Oh yeah,
that's a porn name. Lance Mountain.
Did you have a favorite skater?
I probably did. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Because I remember it's been like literally decades since I've watched skateboarding, but I remember being a fan of Bucky Lasek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good.
I think I was like really good with his stats on Tony Hawk. Because they all had different, stats.
And I remember he was always at the X Games, and he was always like on the verge of winning.
And he never did. Yeah.
I mean, he might have won a couple, but I remember he was always like that one that was like so close a handful of times, and that made him endearing to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, like all those video games like SSX, like I was playing Tony Hawk like up through PSP days, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people love Skate 3.
Yeah, I think I tried Skate 2. And it was like too realistic for me.
Yeah, too technical. I just wanted to do crazy spins.
Yeah, exactly.
And grind on everything.
But yeah, like the skate videos and shit, like that was such a big part of it. Because like that's what CKY was, you know? And like in the Tony Hawk games, like the collectibles were skate tapes. Like you're trying to find all the tapes and shit like that.
And I know we're talking about like early 2000s. I will never forgive HBO for canceling Betty, because that show is like a perfect encapsulation of like skate culture now in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Like not 21st century, but this decade, like this moment. Yeah, it's so good. And they canceled it after 2 seasons. I was very, very sad about that.
But yeah, I just remember, like, even if you didn't skate, but you were like adjacent to all that shit, like you were wearing skate shoes, like Etnies. Remember Etnies?
Mm-hmm.
Like those were the shoes, and they were skate shoes, and they like kind of sucked to walk in because they were completely flat. You know.
I was always into Vans.
Yeah, Vans. You know, like.
I did dabble in a little bit of when I say that, like I skated down the street a few times.
Sure. Yeah.
Never pulled any tricks. I think my first skateboard was like a Incredible Hulk skateboard in elementary school, which was
I think too
mine
large.
Was
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I could skate because of hockey.
Right.
So I had rollerblades, but they were like hockey ones.
Yes.
But like aside from like just being able to like skate backwards and like kind of just like do that shit, like that's kind of what impressed people that like could barely like, you know, walk forward on skates. But then after elementary school, like that was like not seen as cool, you know. People only cared about skateboarding, really.
I think I remember because I had a tough time with gym class all throughout, you know, school. But there was this one week, and I forget what grade it was. It might have been like late elementary, maybe even middle school, probably not middle school, but it was hockey week. And like you just said, you grew up playing hockey. I did not, but I reaped the benefits because we were on the same team.
Yeah.
And I remember pretty clearly we had this one day where we just went off on everybody. Like I was getting one-timers from you. Yeah. Just like the synergy going on there was unreal.
It's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
It was just these two white boys.
Oh yeah.
Just like dominating.
Like the only two white kids in the entire gym class, just going off in hockey for the 1 week they get to play it. Because I was okay at basketball, but I never excelled at any of the games, but there was that one shining moment that I'll never forget.
Yeah, because we always had to play basketball or soccer.
Oh, it was very
kickball.
Yeah, it was very uninspired. And it's not like we were just playing those sports. Like they would just be like, okay, here's a soccer ball, here's a basketball. Like none of it was like actually trying to like get an organized game going or like try to like learn some of the basic skills of these games. It was just like, here, take the basketball, go have fun, go find a group to play with.
Yeah.
So
I remember there was middle school when we had to do hockey. I actually got in trouble because
for high sticking.
Yes, for high sticking, because the gym teacher didn't know.
I remember this.
Actually, what high sticking was.
Yeah.
So like I ripped a wrist shot from across the gym, and like I literally hit like top shelf. I hit the corner. And my follow through like went up high where it was supposed to, like shoulder length. And I got in trouble for crazy high stick was what it was called.
That was the wording of it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other gym teacher who knew I played hockey was like celebrating like crazy and called me Sidney Crosby.
Amazing.
As I got in trouble for a high stick.
Well, to be fair though, I think
following through on a wrist shot.
I think the rules were pretty clear in that it was sticks on the ground at all times.
But you can't play like that.
No, you can't. But those were the rules.
I know, but I come on. I had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do it to him.
It is wild every time they say Sidney Crosby has been playing for 17 years.
I know, right?
Like, he did this thing last night. It was the most subtle thing, and I wouldn't have picked up on it if they hadn't captured the replay. But he was behind the net, and he took a pass. He fielded a pass, and he angled his stick in the exact direction where it deflected right to, I believe, Rust. And it was like the most unexpected thing. So Rust wasn't even able to capitalize on it because he did not expect that angle would ever like lead to him getting the puck. But yeah, it's like little things like that are just like dazzling, and just like he does it every single night. Yeah,
he does shit like that dozens of times a game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then in a 1-0 game, he's like just blocking shots like crazy at the end.
Yeah,
like yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to like reminisce a little bit about like, you know, early 2000s like skate shit.
Do the Penguins, they still play CKY in the arena, don't they?
They used to. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah.
There was a weird period of time where like they would play a CKY song and then like Malkin would score.
Mm-hmm.
Like it happened with like a weird regularity for like a couple seasons.
Maybe that's just because Malkin scores a lot.
It might have been, but it felt
like it was like there was a connection there. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I was like going down like the CKY rabbit hole, you know, and like.
Have they made any music in the past, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years since I've stopped paying attention to them?
So they split into two bands because they like basically broke up.
Oh, that's right.
So
they have a different singer, right?
Yeah. So the one guy that didn't sing before is now singing at like in the like quote unquote CKY, and then the original singer is playing CKY shit as 96 Bitter Beings.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're two different bands now that are the same band. And I think they've both put out material. I have not listened to it.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna beat that original, that first album. I believe it was called Volume 1.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but I still like An Answer Can't Be Found, and like their other stuff was still good.
Yeah, there is all through the 2000s. There's good stuff from them.
But yeah, it was just such a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had Tony Hawk, you know, like those soundtracks, like the Vans Warped Tour would actually like have the half pipe and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there was Jackass, who are like they're all like wearing skate shit as they crash golf carts. Like the one thing, like Johnny Knoxville like clearly almost died.
Mm-hmm.
Like the golf cart lands on his head. Like like he almost just dies right there, and then they're just like laughing it off. And he's like, "Yeah, I literally can't remember what happened."
Man.
it's just like, all right, on to the next thing.
And it made the cut.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus, man. And it's like, it's 2022 and like, we're doing Jackass again. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'll watch it when it's out to watch at home for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll go to the theater for it, but.
No. Is it on like the Paramount? Is it on that thing?
Oh, I do have that. I should check.
It might be.
Interesting.
I knew they held it for a while because they wanted to get it in theaters.
Well, I know
like
Paramount,
it's been ready.
If it's made by Paramount, they have a thing with their movies where it'll have like a window for theatrical, and then I think after 45 days from that initial theatrical release, it'll be on the streaming service. So if it's not there now, it will be pretty soon.
Yeah. I doing like, you know, rabbit hole shit. I found out that Jeff Tremaine, the director of the Jackass movies and like the co-creator of the series, he was a producer on that Eric Andre prank movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which makes all the sense in the world.
Oh, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And I didn't know that Spike Jonze was like super involved in the Jackass movies, and he co-created the series. I forgot about that. It's like weird to think now because he's like such a like artsy director, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it fits. Like the origin story fits there.
Yeah, but like he got started doing skate videos, and so like all these people knew each other from doing skate videos.
Right.
But yeah, Jackass is back. I don't know, maybe CKY can, you know, straighten out their weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity. Like, right, the nostalgia's in the air. People are interested.
Yeah, we're gonna start buying etnies again and not tying them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how nobody tied their shoes? Speaking of gym class, I got in trouble one time because we had to play kickball, and the style at the time was to not tie your shoes, and so my shoe went flying, and I got in trouble for it.
High shoe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the nostalgia segment. I just wanted to talk about Jackass a little bit.
Understandable. Are the old ones streaming anywhere?
They might be on Paramount. I don't know.
That would make sense.
I had to grab them.
Yeah.
Because like the original was like, you know, DVD quality, what I could find, because it was like, you know, 2002.
Sure.
Some shit. It's like, Jesus.
2022, the year of The Matrix and Jackass.
Yeah, like, man, like think about it. Like the height of culture was like goth shit and skate shit.
Mm-hmm.
So strange to think about.
When we were young.
Right. I tried to think of a pun off of that for the segment, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, you wanted to talk about some highbrow movies.
Well, some. Okay, I'm hoping my mic cancels out that awful floor creaking sound that sounds like farts.
It does not whenever you get up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to clarify that that's what that is. Yeah, no, I wanted to talk about the Oscar nominations, which came out this week, sort of in lieu of a movie discussion. Although the reason we don't have a movie discussion is because I completely forgot to mention the film last week. But
I had a feeling.
yeah. But this works out, though, because we can sort of focus on this a little bit. So, yeah, the 94th Academy Awards happening on March 27th. We got the nominations the other day. Have you looked through these?
I'm currently doing so.
Okay. So I feel like overall, well, the Oscars are interesting, right? Because I tend to like prop them up with a certain amount of like significance and relevance that I know in my mind that they really don't deserve. Like I have this sort of like duality when it comes to the Oscars. It's like I want to really pay attention and kind of obsess over them. But then at the same time, I know that they are not representative of what, the best of film. And they often like leave me frustrated and annoyed as much as they excite me. So it's like I sort of like have a mixed, relationship with the Oscars. But I don't know. This year, for the most part, is pretty solid. There were some surprises, some things that you would definitely expect, some omissions that are pretty bad. But yeah, if we want to get into it here, the Best Picture. There are 10 films up for Best Picture this year, which I believe was a set number. Like they had the intention of having 10. And so they fill it that way. It's not like a movie has to hit like a certain like threshold to make it, right? So there's like a set of 10 that they're looking to fill those spots.
I see.
Yeah. So we have Belfast, the Kenneth Branagh film, which I have not seen yet. I'm waiting for that to, it's available digitally, but like not to rent. Like I like to rent movies. Like I think right now it's like a $20 purchase or whatever. I'm just waiting for that to come down. I've heard like it's fine, I've heard like it's okay. Like it seems to be a bit of a crowd pleaser, which is that those usually tend to do pretty well. We have Coda, which for me personally, this was the most pleasant surprise for me. This is a movie that came out over the summer on Apple. It's one of my favorite movies of the past year. It is a coming of age story about, it's pretty unconventional. It's about this girl in high school and her family. Everyone in her family is deaf except for her. So that like presents a pretty interesting dynamic. And then she's pursuing music. She wants to be a singer. And it's a terrific movie. I was actually, if we want to get back into film discussions, I was hoping we could maybe talk about this one in greater detail next week.
Okay.
If you'd be up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was not expecting this to be up for Best Picture, but I was really happy it snuck in there. One of the few streaming films on this list. So yeah, then we have Don't Look Up from Adam McKay, which this was the film, the sort of star-studded climate change allegory that blew up on Netflix over the holidays. I'm not touching this one because...
No, not me either.
Yeah.
I'm good.
The last Adam McKay film that I watched
was Vice.
And I would honestly say that that's the worst movie I've ever seen.
Really?
I genuinely think so. And when I say that, like, obviously there's a lot of really bad films that come out all the time. But when you put
Except through Mother.
Yeah, no, Vice is worse than Mother. No, because the way I'm framing it as the worst movie I've ever seen is because the context of it, right? It was up for Best Picture that year. It was up for a bunch of Academy Awards. It was...
God.
Had a really good cast, and it was absolutely insufferable. Start to finish. Hated every second of it.
Did you know that Dick Cheney gargles balls?
Just absolutely hated that. Honestly, I hate it so much that I won't touch anything that Adam McKay directs from now on. I just can't do it. This seems to be pretty divisive. Like, a lot of people really liked it, and a lot of people thought it was terrible. Also, I don't like the fact that Adam McKay was, like, being preachy about climate change on social media. Like, we don't know what that is. Like,
he's found this whole deal.
Yeah, like, he's found this great... he has this calling to let the world know about climate change like we don't know already. It's very strange.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, he also let us know that Dick Cheney sucks, 30 years too late.
Exactly. It's just it's nonsense. Yeah. So yeah, like the sad thing about this is that I've heard a lot of people speculate that this could very well win Best Picture.
That'll be so obnoxious.
It would.
It'll be so obnoxious.
So for the moment, I'm just like going to abstain from really talking about this because I haven't seen it and I don't plan to see it. So, but then we follow that up with something really cool, which is Drive My Car, which I think was the real shocker for a lot of people. This is a 3-hour art film based on a Murakami short story. that really captured a lot of attention at like the festivals it played at over the past few months. And people really love it. And it just seems like this movie that's destined to not really gain much recognition because of the type of film that it is. And yet here it is, nominated for Best Picture. And we also have Hamaguchi, the director. He's up for Best Director too. So it got a lot of love here, which is pretty cool. We haven't had the chance to see it because it hasn't been given a wide release yet, nor is it on digital. So I'm really excited to watch that. I think this is a product of the Academy expanding and the fact that almost 30% of the Academy is now international. So movies like this are really getting an opportunity to break through, which is awesome. Like we had Parasite a couple years ago.
Right.
Not that I'm expecting this to win Best Picture, but the fact that it's here is very cool. Because this is like a critics movie, you know, it's like a film Twitter letterbox critics movie, and it's just not something that you would expect to be here. So yeah, then we have Dune. Great, love it. I know I was probably higher on Dune than you were, but
yeah.
We have King Richard, which I haven't seen. It's the Will Smith film about the father of the Williams sisters. I'm going to wait for that to swing back around because it was on HBO Max for a period, then it left. I still need to see it, so I'll wait for that to come back. It was almost like 3 hours long, which kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't want to dedicate the time for this right now. Because I also heard it wasn't that amazing. So, but I do need to see it though. Then we have Licorice.
So that was a documentary though?
No, it's a biopic.
Okay.
Yeah, biopic. Stars Will Smith. That's about all I know about it. Yeah, we have Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson. I was gonna see this, like I was geared up and ready to go see this, and then Omicron just like took over.
Yeah.
So I decided to wait. Nightmare Alley, which is another surprise, the new Guillermo del Toro, just hit streaming services, and there are theories that that's a big reason why it ended up here. Because the day that Oscar nominations, the ballots opened, like you could start voting, was the day that this hit both HBO Max and Hulu.
Oh.
And it's currently the most watched film on Letterboxd in the past like 2 weeks. So it seems like this gained a lot of traction just very recently, and they timed the release very well. Because it wasn't getting a lot of attention during its theatrical run back in like December and early January. And because of that, I was surprised to see it show up here.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. No, I've been meaning to.
Another movie
I
that's
honestly haven't had the time.
Almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Then we have Power of the Dog, which has the most nominations of any film this year with 12.
I don't see it up here for gayest movie of the year.
Well, yeah, looking at the list of Best Picture, I think it is the gayest film in this category. Yeah. I think you nailed it back when we talked about it. You called that. You know, there's a lot of ways the Academy could go to like expand its like scope and like award different types of films and creators, and I feel like gayest movie would be a good way to go. Yes. Okay. So wrapping it up, we have West Side Story, which was a shoo-in. Like that was never not going to happen.
Sure.
This one has 7 nominations compared to the 10 that the 1960s version had.
Okay.
So yeah, those are our 10 Best Picture noms. Of the ones I've seen, which is how many? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I've only seen 4 out of 10 so far, which is kind of shameful, but I do have time to catch up.
Well, I mean, a bunch of these were in theaters.
True.
Only.
Yeah. So of the 4 I've seen, I think Power of the Dog is my favorite. Although I have a feeling that Drive My Car is very much my kind of shit.
It sounds very much like it.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, any thoughts on the Best Picture?
No, I really need to see the Del Toro.
Yes, me too.
I'll watch anything he makes.
Same with Paul Thomas Anderson.
I'm pretty surprised to see Dune, honestly.
Oh, okay. Just because of like the Academy's history with like genre stuff.
Yeah. That's the majority of the reasoning. Yeah. And I don't know. Like, it's hard to judge Dune completely, right? Because it's like the structure of it. We talked about that whenever we talked about Dune. The structure of it is so strange, where it doesn't have that, like, you know, climax, right? It just kind of ends and it says this is only the beginning. Like it's tough to judge it as like a movie. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean, but I kind of disagree because I feel like the climax is from a character perspective, because I think the main character hits a very crucial point in his story, and everything was leading up to that point, and that's where the movie ends. And I feel like that's a proper, like, appropriate ending of like that chapter. And so I do feel like you can kind of judge it based off of that, if that makes sense.
I suppose. I just feel like it is a huge outlier here.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the outlier is Don't Look Up.
Well, yeah.
But I'm confused by everything surrounding that movie. I just don't know why anybody would work with Adam McKay, no less like Meryl Streep. Like, I just don't get it.
To me, that one is less surprising, to be honest with you.
I guess because like everybody's seen it. Like, according to Netflix, it's their most watched film on the platform ever.
I don't trust their metrics.
No, but it's probably up there. Like, I believe that it's up there.
They're so full of shit. It's probably up there, but they're so full of shit about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they probably start counting if you play 10 seconds of the preview now. Like, I don't trust their numbers at all. I trust their numbers less than TikTok's.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Dune, though, one omission, one snub, you might call it, that a lot of people were talking about this week is in the Best Director category, because there's no Denis Villeneuve here.
Yeah.
Which is, it's especially interesting because Dune has so many other nominations. Like, it's all over the place. Right. And yet the thing that ties everything together, the person that ties everything together is Denis Villeneuve, and he's not recognized here.
I think it comes down to just the way that the categories are. Like if a movie is up for Best Picture, then wouldn't it lead you to believe that the Best Director would also be up? So then you would have 10 nominees for Best Director.
That's a good point, right? Because looking at all the Best Director noms here, all 5 of them are also in the Best Picture category.
Yeah. So I think it's honestly a problem of the format more so than...
Yeah, because it's like, who do you take away here? You don't take away Jane Campion. You don't take away PTA. I would argue maybe Spielberg.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the directing was the strong area of West Side Story. I don't know.
So yeah, I think otherwise it would just mirror Best Picture.
That's a good point.
So I think so since it's cut down, there's going to be omissions.
Sure.
I think that's mostly the case.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, one of the real headlines here in Best Director is the fact that Jane Campion is the first woman ever to receive multiple Best Director nominations. She's also only the second woman to ever receive a Best Director nomination. So it goes Jane Campion in, I believe, 93. She was the first. And then we have to go all the way to last year with Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. And now Jane Campion again. Which, like, a lot of people have pointed out how sad that is.
Yeah.
Which is obvious, and that's a good point to make. But I also kind of look at it as like, okay, well, we've had 2 in the past calendar year. So that's something, like, that's progress that right there. Like, that's trending in a good direction.
Yeah.
That's just the way I like to look at it, because it is depressing otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's better than nothing, but yeah.
And I think she's deserving. I think Power of the Dog is outstanding. I hope she wins this. I think she's the favorite to win this. I think that movie has a better chance of winning in directing than it does Best Picture. So that should be interesting.
Because who else will be up? It would be for Lost Daughter.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Right? Like that. Yeah. So I think it is another case of the format.
Oh, I mean, there's a million great.
At least this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, part of it is like, what types of movies does the Academy recognize, right? Because there's a million great films directed by women in the past calendar year, but just like most of them are not here.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the movies that are actual contenders, as far as like this voting body, I think you're right. I think it is Power of the Dog, and it is Lost Daughter. Yeah. Acting is all over the place here. I don't even know what to make of these categories. So like under Best Actress, the one thing that I'm really happy to see is Kristen Stewart, because she was snubbed by the Screen Actors Guild. She was also snubbed by the BAFTAs.
Wow.
And people have theories about the BAFTAs, which is very funny to me.
Because she's American?
No, actually, it has to do with Spencer. It has to do with the fact that Prince William is, I think, part of like whatever organization runs the BAFTAs. And maybe there was some like bias there, or like some intentional exclusion when it comes to Spencer.
I see.
Which, like, I don't quite understand, because like from my perspective, that film is just a love letter to Diana Spencer, and it has nothing negative about it. Like, it's just, if that was like my mother, I would be thrilled. Like, I don't quite understand.
But he's He's the good crown boy, right?
Oh, okay. So he's aligning himself more with the establishment.
The monarchy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Right? He's not the one that left, right? That's the other one.
Right. That's the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that could be, that's a conspiracy theory, but it does sort of make sense. But I'm very happy to see Kristen Stewart here. I think that's probably my favorite performance that I've seen all year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her odds of actually winning are, considering that she doesn't have that SAG support.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like this one will be like Olivia Colman or maybe Kidman, like somebody who's been recognized before.
That's Nicole Kidman as I Love Lucy.
Yeah, another movie I'm not touching.
Yeah.
In fact, she and Javier Bardem are both nominated for those performances.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, like I'm good.
Yeah, and then rounding that out is Penelope Cruz in the new Almodovar movie, Parallel Mothers, which is not out yet. So I haven't been able to see that. Best Actor, we have Bardem. We have Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog. Andrew Garfield's Tick, Tick, Boom, which I haven't seen yet. That's it's from Lin-Manuel Miranda, about the creator of Rent. Will Smith, King Richard, and then Denzel Washington from Macbeth, which was a nice one. I wasn't expecting that, but that's really good.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising to me.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I figured Frances McDormand would have been up for Best Actress.
Yeah,
out of that one. So that is pretty surprising because I don't think out of that whole cast, I don't think he had the strongest performance.
Mm-hmm. But it is still Denzel at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then supporting actress, Jessie Buckley from The Lost Daughter, fantastic. I believe this is her first nomination, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Ariana DeBose from West Side Story, I think she's the favorite to win this. She plays the character that was played by Rita Moreno in the original, just like a very beloved character, and she was just like electric in this role. And it's also notable because DeBose and Kristen Stewart made some history here because this is the first time that two openly queer actors have been nominated in the same Oscars. Yeah. Then we have Judi Dench, Belfast. I might mispronounce this, which I apologize, but Ingenue Ellis from King Richard and Kirsten Dunst, Power of the Dog. They nominated Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons.
Hey.
Some true power couple there.
Mm-hmm.
Then supporting actor is Plemons, Troy Kotzer from Coda, which we'll talk about more next week. Kieran Hines from Belfast, J.K. Simmons from Being the Ricardos.
Okay, sure.
And then Cody Smith McPhee from Power of the Dog. I'm assuming that is the kid, right? Like the main kid.
Yes.
I would have considered him a lead, but I guess that's Benedict Cumberbatch. So
right. Yeah.
But yeah, he was really good. It'd be cool to see him win.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see Jesse Plemons here, honestly.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton to do in that film.
No, he's almost like a background character.
Yeah, especially in the second half of it when like all the really like major stuff happens. Yeah. He's very much on the periphery. In fact, one of the defining things of that character is that he's kind of like clueless like to what's actually going on. So yeah, not a whole lot for him to do. But I guess it's kind of name recognition, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's I think what a lot of this comes down to. It's why you never know what the acting category is. They're just like a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Some of these we can skip over. There are some more notable ones though. Adapted screenplay, we have Coda, which again I love. Drive My Car, Dune. So the Dune screenplay gets nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Daughter, which I know you have problems with that screenplay, but I really loved it. Power of the Dog is the last one there.
Yeah.
Pretty strong. Like these screenplay ones are the ones I usually look to because they usually contain the best films.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty strong there across the board, assuming that Drive My Car lives up to what everybody has said. And then for original screenplay, we have Kenneth Branagh's Belfast. We have Don't Look Up again here. King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and then another festival favorite, which is The Worst Person in the World, from Joaquin Trier. This is a film that I just have heard endless great things about, and it hasn't had a wide release yet. I think it's playing New York and LA, and I'm just dying to see it. And I'm happy for all the people that were excited by this screenplay nomination because I don't think there was much expectation that it would be up for anything. So that's really cool to see. Editing, we have Don't Look Up once again. We have Dune, which hell yeah. Like that's just a superbly edited film, I think. King Richard, Power of the Dog, Tick Tick Boom. Animated feature. So there's some really interesting history here that was made. This documentary Flea. I don't know if you've heard of this. It came out on Hulu this week. And it's the first...
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so it's the first movie that's ever been nominated in this specific trio of categories, which is Best Animated Feature, Best Documentary Feature, and Best International Feature.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a film from Denmark. It's about a man who tells his story of being a refugee who fled Afghanistan, and it's told mostly through animation to protect the identity of the person telling the story. And I watched it yesterday because it's now on streaming, and I was blown away by it. It's outstanding, and I just think it's so cool that it was nominated in these three categories, because it's very much deserving to be in all three of them, and it's just like not something we've really seen before. And I do feel like this is another result of that international segment of the voting body really propping something up, which is really cool. Like just give me more of that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I genuinely feel like like the international voters probably have better film taste than, or at least watch more of, like, I don't know, like there's something about the voting body of the Oscars where it's like a long running joke where it's like most people don't actually watch the movies that they're voting on, you know?
Right.
Which is how I guess you get something like Don't Look Up, because it's so accessible and everybody's seen it. But it's like the Academy has its own streaming service now for people that are voters. Like you could just go on there and watch everything. Like it's so easy. And yet most people just like don't care, which is very sad, because let me tell, like, I feel like we watch more of these Academy nominated films than the actual voters do. Like if I had a vote, I would be treating that as like sacred. I would be doing my due diligence, you know? And I know a lot of these people are like work in the industry and they're very busy and stuff, but like still. Anyway, so the anime features are Flea, Encanto, which I believe is Pixar, I think. I think that and Luca are both Pixar films. Then Mitchell's versus the Machines, which I've heard is quite good. I think that's on Netflix. And then Raya and the Last Dragon. I've only seen Flea out of these, so I really can't speak to any of the other ones. But Pixar is usually the favorite because it's Pixar. Yeah. Documentary, we have I have a lot of catching up to do here as well, because the only one I've seen here is Flea. Ascension, which I haven't heard of, as well as Attica, which I have not heard of. Summer of Soul, which has been on Hulu since last summer and a lot of people really like. And then Writing with Fire. So yeah, I'm going to have to do my homework on the documentaries this year. Cinematography, Dune, which like should win, because like there's visuals in that movie that I've literally never seen before in like a blockbuster film. Just like the scale and just like the spectacle and all that, just incredible. But we also have Power of the Dog, which is a beautifully shot movie as well. And actually what I just said about Dune also sort of works for Macbeth too. Like there's no movie I've seen that looks like the tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah, tragedy of Macbeth is great to see here.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Definitely, like if that movie should be nominated for anything, it's this. So I'm very happy about that. Nightmare Alley and West Side Story. International feature, we have Drive My Car. We have Flea. We have The Hand of God from Italy, which I have to look around and see if that's streaming anywhere. Then we have Lunana, a yak in the classroom. I have not heard of this one. Yak. Okay. I have to look into that. Haven't heard of it. And then we have The Worst Person in the World, which the very first opportunity I get, I will be seeing that one. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's a couple of craft ones here, like visual effects. There's Dune. There's James Bond. There's Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, and for some reason, Free Guy.
Okay, yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Whatever.
Yeah. Production design is Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Macbeth, and West Side Story, which are all solid ones there. But like I feel like this is far from the worst slate of nominations that the Academy has put out there, especially in the last few years. Like I guess we could have like sort of a Green Book scenario if Don't Look Up ends up winning a bunch, but otherwise, like there are quite a few deserving films here. Like they're never going to represent the best in movies, but as far as like these types of shows go, like this is pretty good. And I wonder like how much the streaming aspect of it and like movies being more accessible like right now, like with the closures of theaters and stuff. I wonder if that plays into this a bit. Or whether
maybe.
I think maybe more than that, it's probably the continued like expansion of the actual voting body, right? Like a more diverse and representative voting body is probably what's driving this.
Yeah. But speaking of theaters, did you see this? Where MoviePass, everybody's favorite service that worked as you stole money from it, basically.
Yes. It was a glorious, glorious year.
They're trying to relaunch. I don't know. Did you get an email from them? Because I got an email from them.
Maybe it ended up in my spam folder, but I didn't see any, no.
Yeah, I got an email from them saying like, "Hey, watch our thing. We're coming back." And I was like, "Okay, man."
Yeah, they had like a press conference, right?
Yeah, they did like an Apple style press thing. Their new guy, I don't even know who he is.
No, he's the new old guy. He's like the original.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Stacy Spikes. He's even in like the black turtleneck, like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to relaunch this summer. And they don't really have any details about what they're going to do or how they're going to do it, just that they're going to try to be back.
Yeah, it was very vague.
They're talking about some kind of credit system, and that credits are going to roll over from month to month, and that you could trade or share credits with other users.
Yeah, they emphasized the sort of like take a friend type thing, which the first iteration of MoviePass was a very like individual based subscription. Like it was just for one person.
Yeah, because if anybody didn't use MoviePass or wasn't aware of it, you got a credit card, like a MoviePass card, and you would just buy tickets using that MoviePass card, and you only paid your MoviePass subscription. You did not pay for the tickets. Everything was charged to that MoviePass card.
You could think of, what's his name? Stacy Spikes?
Yeah.
He was like the sugar daddy of cinephiles.
Pretty much, yeah. We were seeing movies every week. Yeah, it was a ridiculous time.
That's conservative there, because I was going multiple times a week.
That's true. But like...
I was out of control. There was no reason.
The most movies I've ever seen... Yeah, the most popcorn I've ever eaten. It was a ridiculous time.
Well, yeah, it was ridiculous because like you would be using this MoviePass, but at the same time you would be getting like reward points from the theaters.
Yeah.
So you're getting like free popcorn and shit too on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, it was glorious. And of course the company quickly went bankrupt because they were purchasing all of these tickets. And like got to the point where like sometimes the card wouldn't work and there was literally no customer service. They really went down in flames. It was absolutely crazy.
It was very dramatic.
Yeah. And they're also saying that there's going to be some kind of system where you can watch ads to get more credits or something, and that your phone camera would track your eyeballs to make sure that you are actually watching the ads.
That reminds me of when they were not quite on fire, but they were starting to smoke a little bit. Like when they were on the downfall the first time. They tried to implement a ticket verification system where you'd have to like take a photo of the ticket after you bought it. But like you'd also have to have your location on, and you'd have to be within like a certain parameters of the theater itself.
Yeah, that was the other thing, because you had to like buy your ticket like on the MoviePass app first, and like basically preload your card with the funds.
That's right.
And then use the card to buy the ticket at the theater. But yeah, then they were so convinced that there was like all this rampant fraud happening with the MoviePass card. Meanwhile, it was just people just using it.
Yeah.
And they were just hemorrhaging money because of all the tickets they were purchasing. Like the business model made no sense, because you were paying like $15 a month for unlimited movies, and then they scaled it back or whatever. Like you could only see like 3 a week or some shit like that. I actually think so. Like I paid for the yearly thing because they had like a Costco deal or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was $90 for a whole year of unlimited movies. And then as they were going down in flames, I like got a refund. On that,
which was surprising. But like,
yeah, I know. Like I had to fight for it, but like I saw free movies for like It was like 8 months or whatever. I don't know how long it was. It was insane. It was really insane. I don't see how they can make any of this work.
Yeah.
Like this credits thing where you could buy and trade it sounds like a weird crypto thing. It's very dystopian, the whole watching the ads shit.
I mean, something we were talking about, trying to figure out their business model back the first time when they were doing this was like, I think their ultimate goal was to like partner with actual theaters, right?
Yes.
Which is actually like, sounds like something sustainable, but I don't know if that's like realistic.
No, because what happened is that AMC started rejecting MoviePass, right?
Oh my God. I remember that there was a thing where people were actually covering up the MoviePass logo on the credit card with something else.
Yeah.
Because
it was just a MasterCard.
Yeah, because they were being rejected. If like the employees saw that MoviePass logo, they'd be like, no, you can't use that here. So they would just like tape over it with like a Visa logo.
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredible.
And then AMC came out with their own plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why do we need MoviePass? We can just do this.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to be a middleman when there's no need.
Yeah, the theaters can just do it.
Yeah.
And this article from Variety even says AMC and Regal came out with their own plans. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were more expensive because AMC and Regal were trying to actually make money. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I tried the AMC thing for a while. It was okay. It was just way more money because, of course. So yeah, I don't see how this is going to work.
I wonder if they could like find a niche, because this thing, like right now, Mubi, the streaming service, the sort of art house, foreign language, indie themed like streaming service, like the very like niche thing that you get a lot of movies that you really can't find anywhere else. They've expanded to have this thing that's part of your subscription called Mubi Go, which is basically like the streaming service itself is highly curated. Like that's their thing. Like they curate movies. They have like a film of the day. They have different like collections and themes and stuff. And so they've taken that and they've had this sort of like MoviePass style like spin-off to it, which is like they select one movie every week that you can get a ticket for that's included with your subscription, and you can go see that at like a participating theater. And I think right now it's like it works like internationally, and I think they've started having it in like New York City, which obviously makes a lot of sense because all the indie films and stuff play in New York City. But yeah, like it seems like that works really well because they have like they're like catering to a type of moviegoer that it's more sustainable than like, here's a credit card, go watch Spider-Man 15 times.
Right.
And like they're actually partnering with like theaters that might actually benefit from like the exposure and people coming in and watching films there, you know?
Yeah. If MoviePass like actually partnered with indies that need people in the seats, you know.
But it sounds like they've kind of gotten beaten to that by Mubi. Very interesting company.
Well, if they could do it at scale though, like, you know,
true. Yeah, Mubi is very interesting because their streaming service is awesome, and like they have a different, like they're basically a distributor. Like they buy up films at festivals, and they've also like built a movie theater in like Mexico. So like doing all these different things related to art house, like they've covered all these different areas, and it seems to be working really well. So it's a pretty cool company. Anyway, yeah. I'm very skeptical of this return to MoviePass.
Yeah, I don't see any situation in which it works. I really don't.
No. Although if we can just like take their money for another like 6 months while they try and figure shit out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't want to do any weird ad watching or whatever the fuck. But yeah, if they're just gonna hand out credit cards or tickets or whatever, then
because at one point they were bought up by like a statistics company, right?
Yes.
And so the angle there was like, okay, so now we have all this data on your movie going habits, we can sell that.
Yeah.
But that never really turned into anything either.
No. And if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense because the theaters already have that because you're buying tickets from the theaters still.
Exactly.
So none of it made sense.
No.
At all. It just didn't.
But it was really,
and then they also tried to buy a couple movies and distribute them.
I remember that.
Right? They're like those like shitty, like, were they Blumhouse or were they were like, there's something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, when things are really bad, like near the end, and they had done things like they did sort of like the Uber thing where it's like
the surge pricing. Yeah.
And so like towards the end, when they were really about to just shut down entirely, people like couldn't get tickets to anything except for the the movies that they purchased.
Yes.
So it's like everything would be like sold out or inaccessible, except you can go see this really crappy thing that we purchased.
Yeah, the worst one was whenever they claimed like they were having technical difficulties or whatever, but it was like the weekend of a Marvel movie.
Yes, that's right.
And they clearly had just shut it off because there was no way they could afford to pay for all the tickets for the Marvel movie.
At that point, it was literally there was just like a clock ticking and like their account was being drained, and it's like, let's just keep using them until all their money runs out and the app doesn't work anymore.
Yes. Yes.
It was really amazing. It was something else.
What a time. That feels like so fucking long ago, and I guess it was.
I mean, I really credit them because I wasn't super into films before MoviePass. Like, I kind of was, but that was definitely like a launching point for me. So I appreciate,
oh my God.
And I hope it works out somehow. I hope maybe they have a business plan that's feasible, but I just don't see it.
They really do. They still didn't say it.
No, it's not encouraging to have this big press conference and draw all this attention to yourself and then not have any specifics. Like, not even a price.
No.
Nothing. Like, we're going to have all these tiers, but you don't know what any of the tiers are.
Yeah. Or how this, like, are you using the service, like, is a credit equal to one ticket? Or, like, there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And not even, like, an official date, just this summer.
Right.
Like, yeah, is it an app? Is it like a browser extension where you buy your tickets beforehand? Like, what is any of it?
And
what is any
not
of
to
it?
mention
Nothing.
The COVID of it all and the fact that, like, I personally don't really want to go to the theater very often. Like, if something's available to watch at home, no matter what it is, I will watch it at home.
Oh, don't you know everything's gonna be fine in March now?
Oh God, yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine. We don't need the masks in March, and we don't need the vaccine requirements in March now for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's apparently stopping in March.
Yeah, you see one news story where it's like COVID deaths reach an all-time high, and then right below it, it's like mask mandates are being lifted.
Yeah, it's like, okay, all right, cool. I think we tried this before, and then we had Delta.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe it will finally be the end, but it's been 2 fucking years of this shit, man.
Yep.
So.
There's a really good TikTok. I wish I'd saved it. Of someone pointed out a New York Times headline from very early in the pandemic, and it was front page. The top headline, it was like the milestone of 100,000 COVID deaths, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then something from like last week where the front page is like Olympic coverage. You have to go all the way down to the bottom, and there's a story that says like U.S. reaches, I think, 900,000 COVID deaths, but there is a lot of hope or something like that. So it's like the contrast between 100,000 and the severity and like the seriousness of that situation, contrasting with the 900,000 milestone and just we don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wild.
Do you remember when we like first had the vaccines and it was like summertime,
mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh hey, maybe this is actually turning a corner,
mm-hmm.
and like we had shows, and then So I'll wait and see. We should wrap this up.
Yeah, we should. We went a little long here.
Yeah. I have to see if the NDA segment is even worth
Oh,
keeping.
I still need to learn more details about that.
Yeah. I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Right. No, I'll have to shoot.
Yes, you'll have to guess off air.
Right.
Yes. Anyway, that's gonna
we
do
have to
it for
learn
us.
not to go over 2 hours.
Thank you so much for listening.
Things really like once we hit. You said it last week. Once we hit that 2 hour mark.
Yeah. No, it's just sludge. It's just plain sludge. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at DeadEndRoad. Check out the Facebook.com/DeadEndRoadTV. Thank you for 400 likes on the Facebook page. I don't know where all you people come from. Twitch.tv/DeadEndRoadTV. Do a YouTube search for DeadEndRoad TV. And you can
that's more
us.
likes than Razzle Dazzle had Instagram followers prior to the news story.
It's true.
So we must be doing something right.
So that means we shouldn't pivot into crypto rap. Is what that's telling me. And you can email us anything at all at video@deadendroad. DeadEndRoad.co and give us a rating on the podcast app of your choice if you are allowed to do so. All right, that's going to be it for us. We will see you next time.